to another fantastic weekend of Formula One racing here on the EGL Extreme Gaming League. I'm Tipsy Bob, and joining me on the mic is my trusty sidekick and my good friend, Dad Pants. Covering all the action today, we're going to be covering everywhere from Monaco, Singapore, Abu Dhabi, and Bahrain, all across the world, all across the country. We have a full grid lined up, some of the best talent around the world. We have plucked them from all corners of the earth to give you some of the greatest racing experience viewing footage you'll ever see in your lifetime. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the EGL. There we go, once and all the cars are all lining up on the grid. They're all getting ready. The drivers will be focusing on their first corner. Are they going to take it? What are they going to do? Is it going to go deep? Are they going to go? Who knows? Let's take it out. Away we go! DRS is still active, and if Timo wants to get this moved on, he's gonna need to use this DRS zone because I have a feeling. Oh no, Timo, cancel the pressure in the traction zone. My friends from round up another overtake on 23 trademark. This is round 3.
And Timo are oh, he hits the pit! Oh no! Oh my god, this so sorry, control myself. So Timo
I wouldn't be gonna penalty too, so they can stand at the back together again, just like Timo likes it.
How many times? Did you see how many times Timo tried to get into the pit?
Hello and welcome to the SLR Tier 2 race here at Silverstone at Britain. The resolution's not right because I'm an idiot. Let me just fix that for you. We're here for the British Grand Prix round 11, I believe, of the season. If I'm not mistaken. Joined with me today is Kebab. Let's say hello, Kebab.
Hello, glad to be here for the second time this week, second day in a row. But yeah, looking forward. It was actually 2 days ago I did my last stream. But yeah, looking forward to a great Tier 2 race today. It should be exciting. We've got 19 drivers ready and round to go. For it looks like a dry qualifying. It'd be nice if anybody in the chat can tell us what kind of weather we might be expecting throughout the qualifying and the race. And please let us know if there's anything wrong or it needs adjusting on the stream.
Yeah, everything should be good to go. The resolution's fine. I hope you can hear audio. If not, like Kebab said, just tell us on the stream. We get ready for qualifying for the British Grand Prix. The Williams is the first driver out. I believe that's off Larson. No, it's not. It's off Granite, who is coming through Luffield and Brooklands now. I think today we'll be expecting maybe a mid 24, possibly a low 24 from these drivers. We know how fast they can be as a pole position, and I think the midfield will be high 24s and low 25s.
Yep, we've got confirmation there from the chat that we're going to have a dry qualifying and a dry race. So all the luck was reserved for tier 2 this week, because it seems as though every race I've done the last 3 weeks in a row now has had some rain or something to put a spanner in the works. So we're seeing some interesting choices here on the tyres as well then because of that, because some people are opting to go for a lap on the mediums.
I don't think it'll be optimal to go for the lap on the mediums. I think you'll lose too much time, especially since this is a very easy one stop from the soft to mediums. Tyre wear not as much as an issue as you would think. Yeah, for a high tyre wear circuit, such as Silverstone, with all the high speed corners, turn 1, the cops, Muggets, Beckets, Stowe.
Yeah, I think it's
so you know.
I think it's the fastest track on the calendar, if I'm not mistaken. The highest average speed, at least, and now holds the record in real F1 for that as well. So yeah, going to be an exciting race as well, because it does turn into a bit of a DRS train around here. So we're going to see a lot of close action and a lot of overtakes, I think, today.
Well, if it's anything
Great.
like Austria, I think we will.
Yeah. It's going to be a great one for the spectators, but it's going to be very tense on the track for the drivers, I'm sure. We've got things heating up in the championship for tier 2. A lot of drivers still involved, and a lot of the season still to go. As I say, we're only at 11 out of 22. This is a halfway point.
Well, let's just bring the championship standings up for the screen. So Jason is in fact in the championship lead, and Legend is behind. That happened last week, where Jason clutched the win from out of nowhere. Legend was unfortunately not there to make his claim to any sort of winner's trophy. And that put his chance out the window. Makenda is quite a way behind, as are the rest of the midfield. Nikolaitis and Timur sat comfortably on 76 points in 4th and 5th. Adam Galileo, Galileo's quite a way behind Adam. 14 points need to be gained for an impact in position. Sonny and Girl, the two Red Bull boys, very close to each other on points, but very close behind is the Williams and the Ferrari of Larson and Nico Roswell. Ron P13, Joel in P14, if I can speak. 22 points for him. Vinny with 20, Vicky in P16, Dragon P17, Bebix in P18, and Heat, Polar Hayes round out the championship standings with with no points. So we'll put you back over to the action. Vicky sets the fastest lap currently with a 1 minute 24.8, and Timo with a 25 dead follows in behind. Sonny 25.1, and a lot of people in the 25.2s. I count 4.
Yeah, 25.2 from Icewind on medium tyres is very impressive, I have to say. If you think that there's maybe anywhere between half a tenth and a second in the difference in times between the two tyres, the softs and the mediums, then he could be looking at a very good 24. And I'm sure I've seen Icewind in past practices hit the 23s in qualifying as well. So if he's on form today, we're almost certainly going to see these times improved upon anyway.
Yeah, 23s is very quick.
Yeah, extremely quick. Yeah, extremely quick. Not something that I can compete with, certainly.
Legend on his lap, he's on the mediums. And he's making his way through Markets Beckett and Chatwell now, which I think I named Markets Beckett and Stowe before. I know my corner names, trust me. But Legend's on the middle sector split. It's a 2 dead, which isn't particularly bad for the mediums. He's getting some slipstream from Icewind, and that's going to help him in his quest to set first lap. But he's down to 5th there, sort of holding it in 6th like I've seen the soft runners do. And he comes in to club the final section of the circuit. Very easy to lose the rear on this final chicane, and the run up to the line is a 25.3, so a good lap by Legend. Puts him P10.
Yeah, look very tidy. Look very tidy indeed, yeah. Yeah, and I was going to say before, at least I'm glad at least one of us knows the corner names, because I'm picking some up, but I don't remember them all. Yeah, I get confused with Brookland and Luffield as well. I sometimes say Brookfield and Luffan. But yeah, let's see if we can find anybody else on our lap at the moment. I think Makenda might be I think he's coming in this time. He's already done 2 laps in the mediums.
I mean, he's in hot lap.
Still using the ERS, yeah.
Oh, that's not going to
But
help
there's
his
a
lap.
lot of traffic there out of Luffield there.
Yeah, but Legend.
If he is on a hot lap, that's not going to help it. But I don't think he is, because
Yeah,
he doesn't
he's-
he's lifting quite a lot for cops. So yeah, he's not on a lap.
He's put it back down to 0. And we'll try and find someone who is. It doesn't look like there is anyone who's actually on a lap on this particular occasion. Dragon
Flesher
might have
is
just
about to
started.
start his. Dragon's just started one, yeah. So Dragon again choosing for the medium. So a few drivers and some of the quicker guys as well are choosing to go for the mediums. I'm wondering, maybe they're hoping that they could get sneak into the top 10 on the medium tyre and be in a good position for the remainder of the race. But I think they're going to have to rethink that, because a lot of people are putting some very quick times and a lot of 25. I mean, we've got 2:10 separating 3rd to 12th at the moment. So
That is insane. So, just how close these tiers are. This field is, to be honest. Dragon's on his lap on the mediums. He hasn't got much ERS to use in this situation. We'll switch over to a different camera. And he comes through Baggett's now. There's a Renault in front of him that he might try and get close to, so we can pick up a bit of extra slipstream down the straight. Doesn't look like he's close enough, and the Reynolds doesn't look willing to do so either. That's Vinny ahead on his outlap. They're starting a second run as we go through club now. Vinny just ahead. He's starting as Vinny just ahead. Hopefully this doesn't compromise Dragon as he comes out of the final corner now, and it doesn't. It's a 25-2, so a good luck for the mediums.
Jonah has managed to put it on pole. I missed that one, but Jonah with a 24.6 on pole at the moment.
Yeah. I think JC might be the first. No, it's BBX that's the first of the runners on the second run, I believe. Granted, might be. We've got a spin from the Renault. It's Vinny. He's in the gravel trap, and he's been disqualified for going the wrong way. So that's the end of his session.
That's unfortunate. He didn't even get to put a time in either, so he's going to be starting dead last, unfortunately. That is very unfortunate. It's just the game sometimes when you spin, it doesn't give you enough time essentially to get the car back on the track, so it's going the wrong direction. It just disqualifies you, so another GG Cody's moment, I think.
Yep. It definitely is. As BBX looks to be on a decent lap, unless the Delta is lying to us, but he's missed the apex and loses the rear. That's not going to help him. He comes up to the line, and he was 5 times up through the middle. There's only 3 there, and that could have cost him pole, but it's a Mercedes 1-2.
Definitely cost him a couple of tenths there, so yeah, he could have been looking at pole there, but he'll still have time for another run, I think. So, not over yet.
Yep,
But we are starting to see a few people kind of creep into the 24s now and put in some really fast time. So, yeah, I definitely think come the end of this session, we're definitely going to see some very low 24s and possibly a 23.
Yeah, maybe Granite put a lap in. He does a 25-0. Icewind is P8 currently. He was fighting for the win last week. Jason is going to finish his lap now, so we'll see what he can do. And he takes a very unorthodox line through there, but he makes it work. Run up to the line. It's a 24-9. So it's Mercedes, Haas. And hello everyone in chat. Hello Tipsy, Dragon, Futuristic, Terra, BBX, Pretoria. So all the people in chat. Hello. As Adam goes pole with a 24-5. Our first break into the mid 24s on this particular lap. 6 minutes and 50 seconds to go in this British Grand Prix qualifying session. Try and look for people on laps. Larson's on the start of
For
this
at the
lap.
moment.
McKenda's on the lap. He's coming through Luffield now. McKenda, who looked to be in the hot seat of winning last week, spun and hit the wall, and that was the end of his race. So we're hoping he does better this week. He's down in 16th position though, and
yeah, that was very unfortunate. Girl has just put a lap together to get himself up to 6th place with a 25 dead. Very tidy lap from him.
So good luck by the Red Bull. AlphaTauri, the sister team, is looking to improve. As Makenda's a second up in his 25.8, so that'll put him P4, P3 if he continues on with this lap. He comes around the final corner, the penultimate corner. Now we come to the final chicane and the section.
Jonah is also just about across the line as well, but he doesn't improve.
He's starting his lap.
Oh, he's starting it. Yeah,
Makenda goes to provisional pole position with the 24.5, our second 24.5 of the day. Jonah is starting his lap like you said. Larson put himself P4 with a 24.7, a great lap by the Williams to get himself inside the top 5. Jonah is half a tenth up, so that would be enough to put him P2 in this current situation.
Yeah, you could see him sneaking at the 23s there as well, as if he's half a tenth up, if he keeps it clean for the rest of the lap.
You might want to put an extra 4.5 tenths on top of that curve if you want to be in the 23s. As he makes his way through Maggots and Baguettes. And it looks to be a pretty clean lap on this particular occasion. We'll switch to a different cam so you don't get sick of T-cam. He's a 10.5 up, so that is enough for pole position as it currently stands. That'll be a 24.5, 24.4 even. I'll see if he can put in a good final sector as he comes up to the final chicane. Makenda is the one to beat. Can he do it around the last couple corners? He's going to cross the line now. It's a 24.4, and that is provisional pole once again for Jonah.
And I think maybe there was a little of extra time there as well, as it definitely threw club, as he did lose it a little bit on the rear. But yeah, very impressive from him. As we're told we've got 4 minutes left of the session, but it's probably closer to 5 with the spectator bug. But
yeah,
you should be seeing everybody get at least one more run out, maybe. I think maybe start to see some action here as people really start to send it and possibly make mistakes, end up in walls, things like that. But almost everybody going for the softs now. Yeah, nobody's decided to stick with the mediums, just too slow.
Yeah, just trying to find someone on a lap. Timo's invalidated. Dragon is on a lap, but he's in the start. Legend's going to cross the line. He does a 24.7, puts himself P5. So a good lap by Legend to get himself in the top 5.
Maybe be hoping to be a little bit further up than that, but we've got Bivix on a lap now as well. It's just at the very beginning though. I can see a Ferrari. Is that Ferrari going to cross?
I think that's off Nico Rosberg. He's going to pit.
Yeah.
He just put himself up to P6, just behind Legend, so I think it might have been PP5 he was in.
See, I think it's Bivix is the only one left on a lap at the moment as he comes through Cops.
Yeah. He makes his way through the very twisty section. Yeah,
I had to contend with this in the rain yesterday. It wasn't pleasant. It's hard enough in the dry.
Can't imagine it will be. Bivix is down by 2 tenths, but we know he can improve. I think he was the driver that lost the rear on the exit of the final corner. He is going to continue his run. Let's run on board with him and see what he does this time. As he comes around the last 2. He short shifts nicely and he keeps the car straight, crosses the line, and he improves by a 10th. So that puts him P7, and then Dragon behind put himself back up to P4.
Yeah, not a bad lap from Dragon at all, but it just shows how tight it is. He can improve by a 10th and he doesn't even change position. He stays in 7th place. And we've got now the top 10 drivers all in 24s within half a tenth of each other. As Bivix just gives up on that one and retires.
Yeah, I don't think he had time to get around the pit lane very long, around here, about 30 seconds if I'm not mistaken. Vicky's going to start his lap. He started P2. He finished P2 last week in the racing point, I believe it was. He's now on the Haas as he jumps about in the reserve position. Jonah retires in the session, so he will take no further part in qualifying, but Makenda will. So Makenda's going to try and challenge Jonah for that top spot. I'm just going to try and find someone who's closer to the end of their lap.
So we've got a lot of people going out just out on an outlap now. So.
With a 24.2.
Oh, very impressive time from him. Very impressive.
Showing what he can do in the Alfa Romeo. That's why he's tier 1. They shouldn't let tier 1 drivers worse than tier 2, I personally think, but he's here. And he has done a 24.2.
It's a tricky one for the admins to deal with that, because not the tier 1 isn't based on pace, it's based on the ability to drive without any assist. Yeah. So some of the drivers in tier 1 are kind of rightly unhappy with the fact that they're racing in a tier that they can never compete in. So I think it's maybe right to let some tier 1 drivers drop tiers and things, but you've got to get it right which drivers you're going to allow that to do, and it's possible that Icewind may not be one of them anymore after this display, but that's something to deal with and talk about after the race, I suppose.
Yeah, Tara's saying, can we lose the ticker? I don't really know what that means. Scrolling text at the bottom, I'm a bit confused. What does that mean exactly?
I think he's talking about ACC Racing every Monday night. Tune in to the Ultimate. It's a thing on a ticker going across the bottom of the stream. Maybe that.
I don't know. He's gonna have to tell me. Someone just improved. I'm trying to see who. I think it might have been JC. Oh, can we not have it? I've been instructed to keep it. We can we can lose it. If an admin tells me to lose it, I'll lose it. It does think it obstructs the screen a bit. It doesn't make it as crisp, but it's not my decision at the end of the day. Remove it? Okay, I'll remove it.
Got both Red Bulls coming into the last sector now to see if they can improve. The moment they're down in P14 and 15, not where they want to be. As Girl crosses the line, improves to P12. And Sonny, as he crosses the line, 25 dead, does improve, but not by much, stays P15.
Yeah, 25
and
dead.
The only person left is
it Makenda? It's Makenda, the only one left. He needs a good last sector. We didn't really, I think it was half a 10th down.
He doesn't improve, he's 1,000th up on his time. I'm not sure if we do have any. We've got a few more cars still out on track.
Rosbot's in, Grana is. So yeah, I think that's our qualifying session.
That's it. That's it. Yeah. Yeah. So Icewind claims pole by a long way, 2/10 here. Everybody else seems very tightly contested, as we've got less than a second all the way to P14 from P1. Such a tight grid, and it should give us an excellent race here at Silverstone, because if all these drivers are so closely matched, we're going to see a lot of tight action on track.
Yeah, so, I mean, yes and no. The championship leader, P14, the championship rival, P7, and Makenda in P3. So the three top of the standings are the opposite way round on the grid.
Yeah, I think Jason's going to be very disappointed with his pace here, but a 24.9 isn't slow by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm guessing maybe he didn't get a lap together or had an invalidated lap or something like that kind of thing and couldn't improve on that time, but he's got work to do in the race, definitely. Legend, his closest rival, did a fair bit better, but still in 7th, not near the front, so we could be seeing maybe Makenda and some other drivers catching up a bit on the championship this evening.
Yeah. I think it'll be great to see a 3-way fight for the championship, even a 2-way that goes down to the wire. And I think that'd be great for the commentators.
Yeah. As Pretorius in chat says, remember that the guy on pole complains he's too slow for tier 1.
Yeah, he's definitely not. It's self-pay. No, I'm kidding. He's
the thing is in real racing, I think drivers are very much they're always kind of overestimating their abilities, whereas what I've noticed in sim racing is a lot of drivers tend to underestimate their abilities. That's one thing that's very different from the real racing world, I suppose. Because real racing drivers Boy, do they have any go.
I'm just going to bring the standings up once again for the people that didn't see it during qualifying, and it's also something to look at before the drivers get ready for the race and put the fuel on. So, like we said before, Jason, Legend, and Makenda all in. Well, it's mainly Jason and Legend now in a fight with the championship. Makenda needs to have some good results if he wants to be able to. Well, fight for the championship. I'm struggling with words today, apparently.
Apparently, as you tried to ask me about being covered in a blanket or being kidnapped, so it's not very quiet on the stream.
Didn't change anything. I just turned the banner off.
I don't know. Maybe it's something. Maybe it's my mic.
No, I don't
But we have
know.
got the drivers out on the grid on the formation lap at the moment. Some say the most difficult lap of the race.
They'll be lying. Okay, now you're better, so I think it might have just
Okay.
been something on my
Yeah.
end.
Could just be one of those things. Could be my mic. Could be anything. But if it's better, it's better.
Yeah.
Got some support from Makenda coming in from Pemmy in the chat. Good to see drivers supporting each other.
Yeah, as we get prepared to go racing here at Britain. It's an easy one-stop strategy if there is no safety cars, and we have everyone on the softs apart from Nico Rosbot, Jason, Flesh River, and Vinny all opting for the medium tyres. So it's going to be an interesting one for the drivers today.
Yeah, I would have. It's a bit of a surprise that so many people outside of the top 10 have gone for the soft. The medium soft strategy isn't terrible. I think it's marginally better than soft medium. But you just want the track position, which is why you qualify on the soft. So I'm surprised that 5 drivers we've got there on the softs in the back of the grid.
Yep, as Pretorius in chat says, Icewind wins the British formation lap. Let's hope he wins a bit more than that, shall we? Imagine additional point for winning formation lap. That's just additional point for pole position. Everyone just bolts it on the formation lap. As we get prepared, Icewind just hoping that he can secure the lead off the start of the British Grand Prix as he makes his way around the club now. The AI, I assume, has probably taken over by now, and which they have.
Yeah, this is a very short run out to the turn 1 here at Silverstone, but it's not a corner that's impossible to make a move on, even at the very beginning of the race. So he's going to have the wits about him and get a good start. Do you want to take the start away for this race, Billy?
Sure, yeah, if you
I'll
insist.
keep an eye on the back of the grid and see what kind of action we get there.
I'll hopefully try and get a good camera angle as we get prepared for lights out. Get a good camera angle by the game as we are 5 not very red lights, and it's now it's lights out, and away we go. Looks like Icewind's got a decent start from the front of the grid. Jonah not really challenging him. It's Jonah and Makenda going side by side through turn 1. There's a racing point out wide, and for carbon fibre
big
going
crash at the
everywhere. Legend and them are fighting. Jonah and Makenda still battling side by side. There's a Red Bull off. That's of Gerla in the background. Legend gets pushed off by Dragon there. He's on the grass, but Icewind still holds the lead. Dragon and Legend still going side by side from the start of the grid. Makenda's looking to make a move. No, he's defending from Jonah. Jonah's trying to go on the outside. Can't make anything of it. Legend on the outside of Dragon coming through left field as well. He tries to take that position back from him, and he's got that position momentarily, and he does. So it looks like a pretty messy start from the drivers at this point in the race. Granite and Larson battling over P9, and it looks like it's all stationary for now. As further behind we have Rosbot and Yasin going side by side through cops. Yasin on the outside makes that move work, but he runs wide, and Rosbot manages to go through. A bit of a hectic start. Flesh, Vinny, Heat, Gerla all being caught up in first lap dramas. Legend and Adams going side by side now into Stowe once again. Legend manages to get past Adam, and JC and Bebix are going side by side. And there's a bit of contact there. There might have been some light green wing damage for either driver, mostly wheel contact though, but Bebix manages to keep the position for now. It's Icewind leads after the first lap.
both still got their end place, but yeah, a lot of action there on that one. Flesh River, Heat and Vinny really didn't come out well. They're going to have to pit now, as Jason pits as well. This is not going to do his championship any good.
Not in the slightest. It's a shame for Jason, who is now stuck down there until the safety car happens. It's a long pit lane here at Silverstone, about 30 seconds, so you really do not want to make an unscheduled pit stop in the race, but if their drivers strap on the hards, they should be able to run all the way to the end of the race.
Yeah, I mean, even the mediums might be able to make it to the end of the race at this stage, but a lot of these drivers have had mediums on to start with, so it's going to be a tricky decision for them as, yeah, a couple of them go for... Vinny goes for the hards. Jason's gone for the mediums. Yeah, I can't remember which tyre Jason started on now.
Jason started on the mediums, so he's gone for his second set of mediums.
He's gonna have to stop again then. So that's it's going to be very difficult for Jason now to get back into this race, because having an incident around Silverstone, it really puts you off the back of everybody, and you lose out on DRS, and catching up is really difficult. So he's really going to have to put the hammer down to even be in a sniff of the points by the end of this race.
Yeah, it's absolutely pressing the wrong button. There's someone in chat saying I can use the number 0 to 9. I do know that, but I can't because those are my hotkeys for the stream. So if I start pressing that, then you're going to see a bit of a some different action. You're going to be seeing some starting soon and some standings. So yeah, I know it doesn't look the best, but it's just the way I have to do it for now. As we are now on lap 3, DRS is enabled. Let the DRS trains begin.
Yep, and as that happened, Icewind just broke the DRS to McKenda as well. So
yep, that's crucial.
He's going to try and pull away a gap now and get away from the pack and let these guys fight behind him.
Yep, he wants to leave all the pressure over him at McKenda, but McKenda is gaining on him a bit. Icewind with a lot less ERS than McKenda, though. A lot of these drivers have a lot more ERS than Icewind. Icewind with about 20%, McKenda with 65%. So it's just it's not looking good for Icewind. McKenda could easily get into the slipstream as he is around at the first corner. He's got more wing damage, which isn't going to help him on his recovery, and I think that might be him picking again.
Yeah, looks like he's missing an end plate there. Not something. The downforces, the wing is so important around this track because it costs you so much time around the high-speed corners either side. So he's definitely going to be pitting again. And
Legend already with a 3-second time penalty. Penalties are quite an issue here at Silverstone on the odd occasion, and they're definitely proving to be right now. Legend will be falling to maybe even outside the points at this point because of that penalty in this stage of the race, which I know it's pretty early on, but that's just how drastic it can be with this DRS train if it stays like this.
Yeah, the problem Legend's going to have there with that is penalty as well, is that he's got to go another 22 laps without picking up another one. So that's going to be a tall order if he's only taking them 4 laps to pick up his first one.
Yep, Sonny and Vicky going side by side. It looks like Sonny on the outside having trying to get past Vicky as they still go side by side up to the run-up to Cops. The outside for Sonny, inside for Vicky, and it looks to be a decent move, but what's happened to Bebix? Bebix is in the wall at Cops. It doesn't look like he's got any wing damage. He manages to get going again. Gravel on his tyres. So during that side-by-side action, Bebix must have lost the rear and gone off, and that has separated the field. We got 1.1 between JC and Dragon, and 1.2 between Sonny and Granite. And Sonny did get that move done. And Jonah picks up a 3-second time penalty.
Very brave move from Sonny, I have to say, going around the outside on Cops. It's not a corner designed for overtaking by any means.
Bebix with another 3-second time penalty, so the two Mercedes boys with 3 seconds each. We've got a yellow in sector 1 and 3. That is because he has retired in the pit lane, and he is our first DNF of the session. Yep,
not something that we like to see, but understandable in a situation. There's not really much chance of him getting back into this race after 2 incidents in the first 5 laps.
Yeah, the Heat in the chart, obviously not too impressed. He says, honestly, I give up. Which is unfortunate. Red Wing on first corner from a light hit. That's the F1 game for you. It's
Yep, that's unfortunate.
yeah.
That's unfortunate. It's just like in real life, the tiniest of margins. Sometimes I can make or break a race.
Yeah.
As Jason's finding out, is he is a full 34 seconds off the back of Bibix at the moment.
Nice.
So yeah, his championship, his race isn't doing his championship standings any good whatsoever.
Yeah, well, his main rival is in P4, so not looking good. I don't know whether Legend would take over the championship at this stage. He might.
I think if it finishes the way it does now, he almost certainly will make if not take over, then make big gains. But there's still a lot of the race to play out yet.
Yep,
As JC picks up a 3-time and second-time penalties, we're starting to see time penalties are really starting to fly in thick and fast now.
Yeah. One for Jonah, Legend, JC, and I think the other one for Bibix. So the lap 6 of the Grand Prix, we've already got quite a few time penalties. So I think if you don't get time penalties, stick within the DRS train. You could be gaining some positions, but Legend has lost that DRS to Jonah, so that's going to make him come under pressure by Adam and Dragon. Then it's another 1.2 back to JC, and then it's another 2 drivers. So this train is split, and I think the tiniest mistake from the rear of one of the trains will bring it up closer again. So
yeah, the danger on this track really is if you lose DRS from the car in front of you, and the car behind you, or the 3-4 cars behind you have DRS, you're then a sitting duck for those behind you. And Legend's going to find it out now because Adam and JQR are gaining on him very quickly.
Yep. Adam within that 3 Legend not using any ERS, and that's going to make him come under pressure from Adam. It's up the inside maneuver. Adam's got that quite easily compared to the Renault, and Dragon is now going to put Legend under some pressure now.
But here's the thing now that Adam's got past, Legend has DRS, so we could end up swapping straight back again the next lap. But if Legend's smart, he's just going to let Adam catch up to the back of Jonah if he can, and save up some ERS. I think this is one of the few tracks in the calendar where saving that ERS and having a lot of it left in the closing stage of the race really gives you a massive advantage.
Yep, I think that's very key, as the gap between JC and Dragon has closed up. As I said, if that does happen, they'll form another big train, as it has. So that train all goes down from P4 to P9, so that's a 5-car train, all vying to gain another position.
Yep. There's honourable mention here to Sonny and Timo, who have both gained 5 positions after 6 laps of this race, and now find themselves vying for points position. So a great start from them.
Yep, fantastic start. 1.1 to that massive train up to P4, so they're definitely looking good in this early start of the race. Yeah,
and it does look as though Sonny can catch Granite quite easily here. He is gaining on him, but he looks as though he may have made a mistake at some point there, because he just lost 4/10 straight away as well.
Jonah and McKenna going side by side. Jonah gets that position. So, we missed that there. But I think there'll be a move.
I think you got him into Stowe, around Stowe. They're one of the easiest places to make a move on this track. And yeah, it's just once more with the fastest lap of the race with a 1:28. It's very fast time at this early stage of the race. A 28 dead, but he'll be trying to put the foot down now and catch up to Icewind, because Icewind, I'm sure, will have been saving his nope, still on 20%. So looking very low on the ERS. So Jonah already up to 1.2 seconds. Yeah. Showing his pace here.
Yeah, he's a purple first sector. So Jonah not messing around on 7-lap-old softs. Impressive.
Yeah, that might just be that he's able to manage those tyres. Was able to manage those tyres better, being in the DRS train, and now he still has some pace left in them, whereas the others don't. But yeah, he's almost within DRS of Icewind. So Icewind, much to people's dismay in chat, may not have everything all his own way in this race.
Maybe not. It's going to be pretty close if Jonah not has DRS, and he has the DRS. Icewind runs onto the grass. So this is really going to change the way the race works. Jonah with the DRS, not using the DRS.
I'm not sure if he got the DRS. It was within 1 second as he hit the
Oh, Iceman pits.
the marker as Iceman pits. Yeah, so that's lap 8 pitting. That's quite early. So he's going for a large undercut here, I think.
Yeah.
He's going to most likely go to the mediums from the end here. They will make it.
So,
But yeah, nobody's decided to defend against that undercut at all. Everybody else is continuing on. So depending on what traffic he comes out into, Icewind may have pulled it off here and end up gaining 2 or 3 seconds on Jonah.
it would make a huge difference to Icewind's race in his favour if he can gain those 2 or 3 seconds. He hasn't come out in any traffic, so he's got clean air to just push and get that undercut working.
And that's exactly what he's going to do now on this outlap here, is push. Because I'm not sure whether or not everybody else is going to pit this lap, but if he gets if they don't pit this lap or the next lap, that gives Icewind 2-3 laps to get the undercut done. So each one of those laps has got to be a qualifying lap from him, and he could end up gaining massively.
Yep.
Have to keep an eye on Jonah and McKenna when they pit.
Yeah, but I think they might pit this lap though, and just to respond to that undercut.
Yeah, maybe, but I mean the softs can go another 3 or 4 laps at this stage, so I'm wondering if they've got a different plan from the outset. They might
Jonah doesn't,
extend
McKenna
it then.
does. So we'll see where Icewind comes out, where McKenna comes out compared to Icewind. I think that'll be the basis for Jonah as well.
Yeah.
Adam, Legend, the whole train is pitting by the looks of it. It's just Jonah, JC, Granite, Sonny. So a lot of the drivers pitting this lap. The softs can go longer. I'm just gonna look at Granite because him and JC are pretty close on the circuit. Where is Icewind in all of this? He's gonna come.
Icewind, I think, is coming down the main straight now, so he's gonna get McKenna, I think.
Yep, but by how much? I don't think it's by that much. I don't think it's made so much of a difference. Maybe about 1.4 seconds. So I don't think it has made that much of a difference.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's 1.5 gap now as they get up to speed, and yeah, I'm pretty sure that it hasn't really gained them much time at all. So we'll see how it happens with Jonah and whether Jonah pits this lap.
Yeah.
Because yeah, I personally was expecting the undercut to be a lot stronger than that, especially with the free air as well. But remains to be seen because we've got to see exactly what Jonah can do. And if Jonah's putting in a great time on those soft, it may have been too early to go for the undercut.
Maybe, as the rest of the field looks a pit, Sonny doesn't, so he ups one more, as does Timo. JC gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. At least everyone in one race gets one. It's just one of those things.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate for JC. He's running very well in a good position in this race, but those penalties are going to bite him come the end. He may lose out on points because of them.
Yep, I'm running on board of Icewind. Can he take the lead back from the driver, the effective lead back? He does the fastest lap of the race. I think that should be enough. Will McKenna come out ahead of Jonah? No, it doesn't look like it. Is that gap a second between McKenna and Jonah? It is 1 second exact.
So yeah, Icewind, the undercut has worked out for him. He's now out of DRS and on the faster tyre at the moment because his have warmed up essentially. So sitting in a good position, but Jonah just having none of it, straight back into the DRS range. That's the thing. Silverstone as well is one of these tracks as well that I'm not so sure you want to be leading the race because of the power of the DRS and how important it is to conserve resources throughout the race. So Icewind could be in trouble come the end of the race. I mean, I don't know if Jonah's going to try and get the move done early or whether or not he's going to just sit behind Icewind happily. But McKenna might have something to say about that himself.
Yeah, so there's gaps heating up everywhere. I think the one for the lead is definitely the most important one on track. It's for the highest amount of points. Icewind currently, as things stand, will be scoring all 26 points effectively. Bebix and Nico Rosberg have not pitted. Timo and Sonny does. Those drivers will be hoping to come out. I think they were behind the train, where I think around Vicky and them is.
They were in P9 and 10 respectively beforehand, so see whether or not pitting later was the right option for them, and it doesn't look as though it is. They're both losing out.
Actually, I think they were in. Yeah, they lose 2 positions. Timo losing 3.
Yeah, the pit stop strategy is turning out to be crucial in this race. And that's even with just the same tyre strategy pretty much all around, apart from Vinny, who went for the hards because he had to pit so early. But yeah, even with the same tyre strategy, the pit stop strategy has thrown up some real action here.
Oh, Jonah got past Icewind. I wasn't looking. I was looking at chat. Jonah did get past Icewind. I was on board of Jonah, so I did see it. It will be on the stream. I just didn't commentate on it.
Don't worry, we can't focus on everything at once. But yeah, that's an interesting decision from Jonah. He obviously feels as though he's got the pace to get away from Icewind. Otherwise, he wouldn't have made that move, and he's already created a gap.
Well, I think he was proving that near the end of the first stint, with the way he was catching him.
Yeah.
And he's definitely proving it now.
Bebix decides to pit, but Nico Rosberg, who started on the mediums, stays out.
And yep, there we go. The fastest lap of the race from Jonah at 27.5 by the Mercedes driver. McKenna gets a 3-second time penalty, so that's not going to help him. I can't remember whether Jonah was the one with a penalty or not. I believe
Jonah
he was.
does have a penalty, yeah. I can just double check that for you, but I'm pretty sure Jonah does have a penalty. He actually has 2 penalties.
Oh, so that's not going to help him. Can you check Icewind for me?
Icewind also has 2 penalties.
So not great from these drivers. McKenna, I think, has 2 as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Just the one. He's just picked up the 1 and 1 warning. So McKenna is looking in a very good position at the moment. But I won't say anything further than that as Icewind picks up another 3-second penalty.
Yeah.
And this is his Achilles heel, he says. And I'm leaning towards agreeing with him on that he cannot stop getting penalties. He picks up 9 seconds in the first half of this race.
Yes, as we have reached the halfway point of the British Grand Prix, that is very close between Adam and Legend. There was just over a 10th. Legend really coming under pressure from Adam, and it looks like there's going to be a move here up the inside for Adam on Legend, and it looks like the move is done for Adam on this particular occasion.
Yep. Nice clean move there. I don't think Legend was fighting it too hard. He knows that he can't with the DRS.
Yeah, but
so yeah.
Icewind really needs to charge his battery, but as does Jonah, very similar amounts. McKenna, it's on 80%. So if he wants to start an offensive, he definitely can. Legend's not going to go down without a fight, however, for battling for P5. Them two looking pretty close.
Yep. Dragon's not far behind them, waiting to pick up scraps as well. It's got a bit of a train there down to P10, down to Sunny.
Yeah. Looks like Legend's going to go for it again. Up the inside, very close between the two. But Adam defends very nice. And,
yep. Good competitive racing there.
Pretorius asking if Icewind has any warnings yet. He has 3 time penalties. So, if that answers your question, Legend tries again up the inside there. Doesn't make anything of it. These 3 battling hard, very close between the two. The 3, sorry. And this might be Dragon on the offensive, who's got a very good run on Legend. And it looks like it's going to be the outside, but Legend's still got the DRS and Adam. It switches over very close between the Renault and the Ferrari. And Legend and Dragon tries to go around the outside of Legend, but doesn't manage to do it. He runs just a bit too wide. This has allowed JC to catch up to the back, and they're all within 2/10 of each other, which is insane.
Yeah, this is quite a train going on, and in truth, you do not want to be the person leading this train at the moment with an 8-second gap to McKenna, because you're going to have to use all of your resources just to hold on to that that 5th place position, and everybody else behind you can just take it easy, essentially, and hang on at the back of you, not use anything, and then just glide past you on the last lap when you've got nothing left. So it's interesting to see the people fighting so hard. If these guys were smart, they would all just kind of like
going for it again on the inside. JC's on Dragon. Legend gets the move done. JC doesn't quite have it done. Dragon's still on the outside. JC looks to have it done momentarily, but in front, Legend's had to go on the outside. We've got 2 people going side by side in the Cop's corner, and now it's just the 2 instead of the 4. And Legend on the outside, he manages to hold it all the way round.
That is an extremely brave move from Legend. But once again, I'd say if these guys were smart, they wouldn't be fighting so hard for this 5th place.
Beavis is out. He's spun our Cops. Will that cause a safety car? It doesn't. And Adam's going to go for it again on Legends. That's good for him. Sonny is also going for it on Larson. We're just going to keep on board of these, and it looks like the move's done for both drivers.
As JC picks up another 3-second time penalty, he's really been racking those up, and I'm afraid that is almost certainly going to drop him down the grid come the finish flag.
So he's using there's a 3-second time penalty. He's 8 seconds behind Granite in P14. That's where he's trying to catch up to.
And yeah, he loses a bit there in Club. He's just not. It's not his race. I don't think everything's going to plan for him today. Maybe something's
someone's
wrong.
around. Oh, is someone done a half spin? Vicky's done a half spin. That's not helpful for him. But Legend and Adam are going side by side once again, and that's led to Adam being around. Adam is around. There's more contact with the grid. That's Dragon around with wing damage, and that is Adam with wing damage as well. So the 2 drivers that looked in great shape, and Dragon is just the innocent bystander. He couldn't do anything, couldn't move out of the way, and that is going to cause Dragon and Adam to pit, which is really unfortunate for both the drivers, as Gerler and Adam are going to go side by side through Maggots and Beckett's, but Adam with that wing damage decides.
Yeah, Adam's just gonna. His pace is going to be nothing through Maggots and Beckett, so he just kind of has to yield to Gerler in that situation. But what an incident there! That's really shaking things up a little bit. Adam and GQ aren't going to be happy with that, I'm sure, but they just have to pit, keep their head down, and see if they can get back into this race. But it is going to be very difficult. Legend's retired.
Legend has pitted and retired from the session, so I don't know whether he picked up wing damage from that encounter.
I'm pretty sure he didn't.
No, I didn't think he did either. Unless he just didn't feel well and he's just retired. But I don't really see that being the case. So
I'm not sure. Dragon's also retired in the pits as well as he gets back there.
Yeah, but Dragon had wing damage, so I think that's understandable from him. Yeah, Jensen in chat saying FIA intensifies. Yep, and he's saying,
so maybe the incident. I didn't see the full incident, so maybe there's a bit of bad blood there, maybe, and they're retiring out of frustration.
Yep.
Drama ensues at Silverstone.
Yep, Jensen saying our Legend felt bad about it. I'm sure the FIA will look into that and see who's at fault. And Dragon saying, alright, time to cry. Yep, unfortunately Dragon couldn't do anything. It was just the innocent bystander in that. He couldn't move. I think he had someone on the outside as well, so nothing he could have done to avoid.
That's unfortunate. Yeah. It happens, it's racing. You move on and get on with it. If Legend, I have to say, if Legend has left the race because he feels bad for an incident, all I would say to that is that you can't really change anything about it after the fact. So
I think
continue.
Sonny had some wing damage from that incident as well. I think Sonny might have been on the outside of Dragon, and I think that's
so. Yeah.
It's got him some wing damage. That's really shaken up the grid. But the Nico Rosbot still going strong. He's gonna miss all this. He's gonna miss all this drama and come out on the softs. So
yeah, and I think at this stage he might come out in P5 ahead of JC. I'm not actually.
No, I don't think 16. He will.
No, he's probably more like P8 or P9 actually. Yeah. You're right. But I'm just kind of miscalculating a bit there. But he's still got a couple of laps to go on the mediums, and if I don't think Adam's retiring from the session now, so
Girl
that
and
incident
Vicky.
has had such a chain
Yep, Girl and Vicky
effect.
going side by side now, and on the run up to cops it will be. But Vicky gets that move done up to P7. So it looks like it's a pretty decent race for the top three, effective top three. Icewind's began closing back in on Jonah. This hasn't really changed. So as things stand, McKenna wins this race if I'm not mistaken, unless he's picked up another penalties that we missed during all the fighting. Gurler and Vicky still going side by side, and Gurler gets that position back momentarily. He does get it back as well. Vicky having a look on the outside as Gurler defends the inside. He goes for the switch back and up the inside and turn in the final corner. We've seen how that ended in real life. Timo says thank you very much, doesn't need a second invitation, and takes P8, which is now P7 as well, spot pits. So great by these drivers.
Timo's having a very impressive race, I have to say. He's keeping it clean. I haven't seen him pick up any penalties that I know of, so he could gain a few positions come the end of the race. And excellent move by him there to take advantage of that, and Gerla as well, to get past, to repass Vicky. Gerla as well having a very impressive race, as Icewind picks up a 3-second time penalty, which that is his third penalty now, because I've just double checked all of the penalties there. McKenda's still only sitting on one. Jonah and Icewind Jonah has 2, Icewind now on 3 penalties.
Oh, okay. I thought he had 3 before. That's my mistake.
So did I. But it must have been that as I was looking at his penalties and saw 2 penalties, I came out and saw the third penalty, like what I thought was the third penalty on the bottom.
It was actually just his second.
It's the second one, yeah. So apologies for that, but yeah, it's all cleared up. But one person who has massively gained from all of this, I think, is Jason, who's now sitting just outside of the point.
Yep, Vicky's going around the
within
outside
5
of
seconds.
Timo. And Sto, he's trying to hold it around the outside. He can't do it, though. Will he have a look on the final corners? No, Timo running deep again. And it looks like Timo stays ahead on this particular occasion.
Yeah, I think Timo runs deep there because he's afraid of what might happen if Vicky misses the braking point. And it's just experience racing from Timo there, I think. It is another stamp on the book for driver of the day.
Yep. Timo's had driver of the day quite a lot this season, though, so we do have to distribute it to different people every now and again, but I'll just certainly check. Jensen. I wonder if Jensen's racing this week. Let's ask him in the chat. I hope he is. Be nice to see him on the grid tomorrow in T1. But he will drive Sunday, so that's 2 SLR.
There's a lot of fighting going on between these front 3 at the moment, as they're all very tight, but I get the feeling that nobody wants to overtake, nobody wants to be in first place at the moment, because that just leaves you open to an attack on the last lap.
Yep, very true, it does, and I think that's the case. These drivers still keeping up a very good pace, doing 28 deads. Icewind only 4 tenths off his PB, so those mediums holding up very well. And it's fantastic to see.
Yeah, the medium should be the quicker tyre come the end of the race kind of thing, but I think at this stage, the last 5 laps or so, it's they are getting a bit worn.
Oh, Icewind! That's not how you get a good X out of a corner.
Oh, I totally missed what happened there, but it looks like McKenda's got a good run on him.
That was a bit of a dive by McKenna, but I think it was all clean. McKenna trying to look on the outside, tries to go for the switchback, but can't make anything of it. So that little mistake by Icewind could have just cost him track position. Fortunately for him, it doesn't.
It doesn't, no, but McKenna rightly trying to make a move there and get past him to get on the back of Jonah, but rightly backs out of it, knowing that he's in the better position penalty-wise, and he just needs to hang on the back of these 2 to win this race.
Yep. Lap 21 and 26, where it's gone very quickly, in my opinion. It might not for some other people. For example, maybe it hasn't gone too quickly for Jason, who was caught up in the drama on the first lap.
Yeah, maybe not, but yeah, it does feel like a short Grand Prix, even as long as the track is, but it's only 26 laps, like you say, so it does go by fast. Nico Rosberg on the softs isn't really gaining any time to Granite in front of him. That is strange.
Yeah,
I would have expected him to be extremely quick. And Sonny as well, who also opted to go for is now on the softs after that. He pitted late for that damage as well.
So there's a full car train of behind Gerla, leading from 6 to 10. These drivers all trying to get ahead. How many penalties does Timo have? I didn't see any. I haven't actually seen any penalties for him.
I'll double check for you. So he has at the moment 2 warnings. So
very clean race by Timo.
Yeah, Gerla has 1 penalty. Vicky, no penalties. And Granite Goran has 2 penalties. That could cost him points.
Granite's going to have a go up the inside of Vicky to gain some of that trap position for P8 on the outside now for Luffield. Vicky on the inside. Granite's going to get the better exit if he can keep it up the gravel. He does. Overtaken by both of them as they come into the run up to Cops now. It's Granite on the outside, Vicky on the inside, and it looks like a decent move by Granite. If he is ahead, is he ahead? It looks like he is. So good move by Granite.
Yes, that's done. Seems as though around the outside into Cops isn't such a bad place to make an overtake, because if the guy on the inside cuts the apex too much, it costs him quite a bit of time, and they are very want to do that if somebody's on their left going around Cops, because it's a very dangerous corner. Any contact through a flat corner that's so fast is sure to spin.
Yep. Unless you have some very superhuman reflexes and car control. But
yeah,
it's near impossible.
Definitely takes some guts to make a move through there on the outside, because you're really putting your life in the hands of the guy on the inside, because if he gets it wrong and goes and understeers and goes wide into you, you're done for.
Yeah, but I like to refer to that corner as the easier version of going around the outside of turn 4 in Hungary. I don't know if you've ever pulled a move around the outside for that. That is a scary thing to do.
Turn 4 is the fast left-hander, isn't it? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I haven't done it. I've had it done to me, but I haven't done it to anybody else. That's mainly because
I've done it once before, and it is a scary thing to do.
It's scary when it happens to you, I'll be honest. I did not expect the guy who was behind me to do it, essentially, because it was so dangerous, and when he did, oh, my poo came out, definitely. But yeah, as Timo is, we've got lots of breaks now and the things. Granite, after that fight with Vicky, Granite is now off the back of Timo, who can now look to line up Gerla for a move.
Granite with no ERS at all, and no one with ERS really. Throughout the grid, so the majority of it being used, the battery pretty much depleted.
Yeah, I think the front 3 guys are the only ones with any remaining, because I think they're content at the moment to keep their little train going and try and fight for it on the last couple of laps, which is where we're heading now at the moment. So it looks as though they maybe go for that. But at the same time, though, all 3 of these drivers will know that any incident now costs them a podium. At the moment, it's those 3 on the podium, but if they crash into each other, it's anybody's. It's anybody's. Because the 16-second gap behind the JC, who also has a lot of penalties, isn't going to worry them. But if they crash, then that could ruin somebody's race. So, but I'm sure they're all racing drivers at heart, and they're going to want to finish first on the track. I know I would.
Yep. So currently the standings are that it's McKenna, Jonah, Icewind. Icewind with 3 seconds of penalties. Jonah with two sets of penalties. And McKenna with just the 1 set. So currently it's a bit of an opposite. First and third, swap it. First and second. Third becoming first becoming second becoming third. So it's a bit of a mess at the top 3 as we're on the penultimate lap now. As a move, it's Nico Rosbot finally on the back of these guys.
Yeah, he's.
I'm just gonna watch the top guys here. So I feel like these guys will want to win on circuit, like you said.
Yeah, that's where the action's going to be. So follow that on stream, and I'll keep an eye on things behind. Not sure if we're going to have too much action. A lot of these drivers are going to be thinking at this stage of the race, don't make a mistake. Keep it clean. I think Rosbot, though, it looks as though he is really pushing to try and get Granat at the moment, but he is struggling.
Yep. It just shows the divide between the top 3 and the rest of the field. 17 seconds separate the top 3 to P4, so I think these guys need to get themselves up into T1 to this stuff.
I'm almost certain that would be a lot less if we didn't have that large incident in the middle of the race, but
Well, yep.
these things happen. It's unfortunate for all of the drivers involved, but that's why the season is 22 races long and not 1. So, but
We'll see that.
Jason at this stage, looking as though he's not going to get back into the points unless he's very fortunate on the penalties.
Yep.
But anything can happen at this stage. I mean, with the penalties, I get a feeling a lot of people are going to be shuffling around from these positions, which is why they may not want to try and take too many risks as we start the final lap. Or we did.
Well, we did start the final lap. They're coming through the
First corner now.
in the part of Brooklyn Straight, I think? No, I don't know. It's called a straight, and it goes in a straight line. Iceman doesn't get a move in the straight line. It's unfortunate for him. This probably, he's got one more chance down the hangar straight. I don't know what that one's called. Iceman was disqualified from the session as he failed to use
The required tyre
tyre
compounds.
Yes, he started with the mediums, he pitted for mediums.
Yeah. I forgot all about that. He was 23 laps on those mediums. I wonder if he forgot as well. He was just maybe in the zone and didn't realise as he was passing the pit lane for the final lap that he had to pit.
Yep, here we go. Is Jonah gonna come under pressure from Icewind? And it looks like he
goes
is.
defensive.
Icewind's on the outside now. A bit of contact between the wheels. Icewind all the way on the outside. He manages to make it stick. Overtake flow and coming through club now. It's going to be the inside. That'll switch to the outside, but he gets the move done before then.
And McKenna gets Jonah in the final corner as well.
And as we come across the line now, it's McKenna who takes the win here at Britain. With Jonah and Icewind rounding out the grid. Now I'm coming back to Timo. Is Timo going to have a go on Gerla on this occasion? He's going to try and go for the better exit, but he takes it a bit too cautiously. And I think it might be a P6 anyway, because Gerla might have a time penalty. JC gets a 5-second time penalty. Obviously, he didn't serve that penalty. And across the line, Timo goes P5. Gerla and Nico Rosbot P6, Gerla P7, Vicky P8, JC P9, Granite P10. And I think that'll round out the top 10 as Vinny is 19 seconds behind Granite. So I think it'll go Vinny, Sonny and Flash. And Flash is only coming through Cops, so not a great day for that one.
Yeah, but what a fantastic race we've had here today. Lots of action, lots of things going on. It was anybody's race up until the last lap. And McKenna, I have to put a shout out of him for driver of the day. He kept it extremely clean and kept up with those front three, with the front 2 guys who are extremely quick, and didn't, and just kept sensible. Essentially, just stayed with them, which is something that he's last week didn't happen essentially in Austria, did it? So, give him a shout for team of the day, but also Timo, because again, no penalties, but he has won it a fair few times. 11 positions gained there in the end, and he gets 5th place.
Yeah.
Fantastic race from him as well.
Fantastic race here today.
It's the game, obviously, gives it to Timo. Yep.
It's just based on most positions gained that I believe the game gives it.
Yep. Essentially, yeah. Yeah, I have to say, I put my name all over McKenna's for driver of the day today. You can see what the chat thinks as well. Larson, honourable mention, very clean drive from him. I don't think he got any penalties either. Yeah, so 3 drivers with no penalties were Larson, Timo and Rosbot. All did very well come the end of the race. Rosbot, especially with his strategy, starting on the mediums, and he finished well on the softs, overtaking Granite in the final lap.
Yep.
Great race from him.
What to choose, I think we'll definitely decide eventually. I'll just look through who's got it the last couple of weeks as we switch over to interviews. If I press the button, please, make it so I press the correct
chat, please let us know what you who you think deserves driver of the day. We do take it into account. And let us know what you thought of the race today as well. Yeah, lots to talk about.
Yeah, a lot to talk about indeed. Great race by Mackinder though, so...
Yeah, try and move straight onto the interviews if we like. We've got Gerla sitting ready waiting. Anybody else who wants an interview, please get yourself in voice chat.
Well, I guess since Gerla's there, we'll bring him in. And Gerla was P6 if I'm not mistaken. Gerla, you finished P6, if I'm correct.
P7 after penalties.
Well, P7, still a good points position. 6 points to your name at race. Just walk us through. Obviously, the last couple of laps were very intense. You had Timo breathing down your neck the whole entire time. Just how your emotions throughout the race.
Yeah, so I started P12. I think it was the better I can do in qualifying. Then I made a couple of positions in turn 1, but then in turn 2, I don't know what happened. I'll have to look at the replay, but somebody hit me or I hit somebody and I spun around, so I was right at the back again, but with no damage, thankfully. So yeah, then there was a massive DRS train that I was just following until the pit stops. So yeah, because I was behind, I decided to undercut and I got Timo. I came out between Sonny and Timo. And yeah, continued from there, and I think there were some crashes ahead of me. And yeah, in the end, if I didn't get that penalty, I would have finished P5, I think, because that's where Timo finished. So yeah, but P7 is not a bad result considering everything.
Yeah, it seemed like a tidy race for you, all things considered. In the end, I mean, you didn't have the greatest qualifying. By the looks of things, starting outside of the top 10, but you went for the softs for the first stint. Can you explain your reasoning behind that? Why not go for the mediums?
I went for the softs because I saw that there was only 2 people starting with mediums. I think it was Jason and I can't remember the other one. But yeah, in case of any safety cars, I could have put on like hards or maybe even mediums and go to the end, like in case of early safety cars. So that's why I picked softs. But yeah, I crashed. I spun turn 2, so, and then I was stuck in the DRS train. So maybe, I don't know, maybe the mediums were a better option.
I still think it was a very impressive drive for you today. I mean, I agree with you, by the way, on the softs. Picking the softs in the back can help you out in terms of a safety car as well. But one thing I wanted to ask you about, because you gained massively from it, what the incident between the few of the drivers in front of you, did you catch that? Did you see any of it, or was it just the aftermath?
I think it was in front of me, but I was focused on the corner, so I didn't see it. I just saw a wing flying, and I think Adam was involved. Sonny had damage as well, and I think it was like 3 people. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was focused on. I think it was after the back straight, like the first DRS one. So yeah, I just went into the corner and I saw a bunch of wing flying. So yeah.
Yeah, it was a big incident by the looks of things. We didn't catch it, every part of it, kind of thing, but it definitely caused drama in the race and mixed up the grid a lot, and you seem to benefit greatly from it. So, but I have to say, very impressive drive. Considering for the first lap, I was really writing off anybody who'd had an incident in that first lap and was pitting. The 4 drivers that pitted after the first lap, because it's so difficult to get back into it here without a safety car, and there wasn't a safety car, and you still finished 7th. So I have to say, congratulations on that. Well done.
Yeah, I'm surprised there were no safety cars. Actually.
Yeah, a couple of incidents where maybe there should have been one, but yeah. Yeah, but I'm sure you're happy with that, with gaining some points for the race, yeah?
Yeah, I am.
How do you feel about Hungary next week? Do you think you can get a repeat here or maybe improve?
I should be able to improve it if everything goes right. I quite like Hungary, and it's difficult to overtake. So the qualifying is important. So I'll try to do a better job than in this one.
Thanks very much for your time. Anyway, I don't know if we've got anybody else for an interview at the moment, but yeah, is any other questions that you've got at all, Bailey?
No, answered all of them for me. So.
Great stuff. Well,
Yeah.
enjoy the rest of your evening, Gula.
Thanks.
So it looks like we
no one else wants to talk to us about. I'm very sorry.
Yeah, it looks like we're very short. I feel a bit. Do I smell? I don't know what it is. Like I don't get it. But yeah, I'm guessing maybe that was a tense race for a lot of people involved. It was a close race and an action-packed race as well. So maybe their adrenaline's still pumping a bit, and they're not really in the mood to talk to us. But yeah,
I guess so.
So, I have to say I enjoyed that as a spectacle. It was very entertaining.
Yeah, definitely. From everyone, I think everyone played a part in that race. Everyone was involved. But from me and Kebab, I think that'll be the end of the stream. I'll see you next week. I don't know whether it'll be Hammer or Kebab on the mic next week.
Icewind has just popped up for an interview, so maybe we can keep the show on the road for a little longer. Let's bring him in.
I think he normally stays. We'll just bring him in. We want someone to talk to us. So Icewind, you got P3 of all getting P1 on track. So just walk us through your race. How was that for you?
Apparently there's some bad blood with my. I admit I went a little deep into what's that corner called? Village? Club? Whatever.
Club is the final chicane.
Yeah, I went a tiny bit deep there on the final lap, and yeah, okay. I'm sorry about that to Jonah, and if he feels it's unfair, he should. I encourage everybody to report any of that stuff, so please do. And the FIA will have a look at that.
It may be worth mentioning at this stage that Jonah is apologising to you in Discord at the moment because he's rewatched it and it was a heat of the moment thing, and he doesn't feel the same way anymore. So it's one of those things. Yeah, like everything happens, things happen in the race, and heat of the moment, you get very angry about it. And once you look back at it and things, I can think you say, okay, maybe I was a bit overreacted a bit there or so. But yeah, you had a great race. You had excellent pace today. I was very impressed with your qualifying time. But
yeah.
Penalties. What is going on with the penalties, man?
Well, it was actually less than I got into practice races, so it wasn't that bad from my side. I mean, yeah, it was a bit of a test what I can do with this setup in the race, and it was fast at some points, but I kept having trouble with traction out of the first few slow corners there, and that's where I was really struggling with Mackinder and Jonah the entire race there. And yeah, good fun to race there, but I couldn't really, like, Jonah was so fast ahead of me that I couldn't really like challenge him except on the final lap after I had managed to charge a little bit of battery. But yeah, I knew he had 6 seconds or 9 seconds, and I just figured maybe if he gets 9 seconds I might get P2 there. I know Mackinder had only 3, so he would probably win the race.
Yeah, it was a very impressive race from McKenna today. He kept it nice and clean behind you both and kept the pace up.
Almost caught me by surprise on one lap there when he tried to overtake me into... oh god, I should know these corner names really. Whatever it is. I'm not going to try, but after the first DRS raid, he tried to go for it once, but I managed to just defend it on the inside there, so it was fine. But
Brooklyn is the name of that one. So yeah, it was entertaining to watch you three fight out at the front of the race and things. In those last few laps, in the last say 4 or 5 laps of the race, were you were aware of, as you've already said, kind of thing, of the penalties that were going on around you? Were you desperate, as I was saying on the stream, not to crash or cause an incident? Because it could have cost all 3 of you a podium there if you'd had an incident at that stage. And I had my fingers crossed that you were all going to make it through.
Yeah, I was playing it safe very much behind, especially when I was behind Jonah there in DRS. because I knew that I can't really break the DRS. I wasn't fast enough to do that. So yeah. Fun race. I decided to make a little bit of racing during the final lap. It was I felt I held my line on the straight at least, so that was just Jonah trying to squeeze me, I guess. But yeah, into the final chicane I went a little deep, so he said no, it's okay. But I still encourage anybody, if you think you see unfair driving, you should report it, regardless of who it is. So.
And a couple of points throughout the race as well. Some of the guys in chat were saying that maybe you're too fast for tier 2, and what do you say to those?
Well, Mackinder and Jonah are too fast for tier 2 as well, because I was literally, we were so evenly matched there, we couldn't really get out of each other's go there. So I mean, yes, okay, maybe it's probably I'm not gonna do this on a regular basis. I drove today because Ocean Chief asked me if I would drive just to fill up the grid pretty much, but yeah, I
didn't have the full grid.
It's probably the last tier 2 race I'm gonna do this season at least, so just to give a bit of a challenge to those guys.
Oh, best of luck in tier 1 then, because you are still competitive in my eyes in that tier. Maybe not Hugo and Hugo competitive, but you can certainly compete for points in that tier. So I wish you the best of luck in the remainder of the season in tier 1.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time. Take care.
Yeah, thanks for the stream, guys.
We'll put you back. Oh, gotta put yourself down and team you.
That took. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, I suppose that's it because we don't have anybody else to interview. Yeah. What an entertaining race we've had today, and lots to talk about. And I'm going to get diving straight into that. I think in the Discord, get involved and see what happened in the bit I missed, because that was extremely entertaining.
Yeah. So we'll put the stream intro on. That'll be bye for me for the second time this stream, and we'll see you next time.